Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jada Brown and I am your favorite real estate agent on YouTube. Now, I want you guys to do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Right now, we are on the journey to 200 subscribers and I really appreciate each one of you sticking through with me, subscribing, liking, watching the video, sharing, get everything. And for that reason, I have a surprise for you. In this video, I have a special guest, a returning guest, coming back to the channel today to talk about the cost to consider when building your dream home in Jamaica. And I know you guys really like that type of content because the last video had lots of views that we were genuinely happy about and really surprised. So we know that you guys like that type of content. So today we're dropping another video with Jerome Thompson and we're going to talk about those hidden costs to think about and to budget when you're thinking about purchasing land and building your dream house. So if that sounds like something you can vibe with, make sure to subscribe and keep on watching because we're going to have Jerome join after the intro. So stay tuned. Okay guys, like I promised, Jerome Thompson is here, ready to do another video. Jerome, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much, Jada.
Yeah, we're looking like a mint right now with the red and white.
Valentine's.
But yep, so like I was saying in the intro of this video, we did another video and it was like surprising how many people
actually watched that video. So that video is the most watched on YouTube right now, and I'm pretty sure that this one is also going to be the more, the nicer one. So let's get right into it, Jada.
Yep, and if you have not seen that video, it's how to buy property in Jamaica. I'm gonna link it somewhere in this video so you can check that out after you watch this one. And I do want to say that when we posted that video, we didn't know it was going to receive so much positive reviews, and Jerome's phone was ringing off the hook still to this day of people both abroad and in Jamaica asking, how do I buy a property? How do I go about building? And so we really just want to, well, not even so much me, Jerome really wants to provide that information on this platform. So thank you so much, because like we said in that video, he is actively doing it, done it, did it, all of these things. So we thank you for your expertise in coming on the Jada Brown YouTube channel to tell everybody, because as winter is coming, people might want to buy in Jamaica or go to a Caribbean island, and you really want to think about, the steps. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about
the cost to consider before building your dream house in Jamaica. So I have made a list of things to consider before building your dream home in Jamaica, right? And one of the costs that you must consider is the Surveyor ID report. What is the Surveyor ID report? The Surveyor ID report is basically a report showing the dimension of the property, the angles and the degrees of how the land is basically shaped. So in considering this cost, a commissioned land surveyor must carry out this practice, right? So the commissioned land surveyor is basically, they are licensed to practice land surveying in Jamaica.
Okay, and so when they are, well, first of all, how do you find this surveyor?
Basically, you can search online. You can look in the telephone directory for commissioned land surveyor, and they must on Google, where you can find commissioned land surveyor, because they must have a license to practice land surveying in Jamaica.
Okay, all right. So the first cost is
the first cost is the surveyor report, And that is done by the commission land surveyor.
Okay, and on average, how much do they charge, or what's the going rate of that cost?
That cost can vary between anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000.
Okay, so it just depends who you go with.
Who you go with, yeah.
Okay, all right. So that's the first one, the surveyor's report. Now tell us what another one is, the second hidden cost.
All right. So the second hidden cost is the evaluation report. Now the evaluation report is basically done by an evaluator, right? This report is basically shown where properties that are close in proximity to the property that you intended to buy or intended to purchase, right? So it will show you basically how much and when and who owned that property next to the intended property that you want to buy. This can cost you anywhere between same $30,000 to $50,000 roughly, right?
Just depending on the evaluator.
Evaluator, right?
Okay. All right. So we have the surveyor's report. We have the evaluation report. Okay. And now we're going to move on to the third hidden cost of building your dream home in Jamaica. And Jerome, what is that third cost?
Purchasing price for the property. I should have said that first, but you know, whether you're thinking about to buying out of pocket or on a mortgage, one must remember that you're going to need money to buy this property.
Absolutely.
And really and truly, if you're thinking about taking out a mortgage, I would suggest that you put down 5 to 10% of the cost for the property, right?
Absolutely. And the thing is that you have to remember when you're thinking of that purchase price is that bottom line price that you see, let's say the property is $3 million, you're not only paying $3 million for that property. There are associated costs, like Jerome said. So if you are going to get a mortgage, remember that you're being charged the principal and the interest. So the principal is what's going towards the balance. The interest is what you're paying in exchange to the bank for doing business with them and them giving you that money up front. So you need to factor in the interest payment into your total cost, right? Because it's not just $3 million, it's $3 million plus interest. And you also have to be cognizant of what type of financing you're going to be doing, right?
Right.
Because in certain times you can get a variable interest rate mortgage with the bank, right? And that means that whenever the interest rates change, so can your interest for your loan. So if it goes up, your loan payment is also going up. And I know if you don't read the fine print, like a lot of us don't read the fine print.
That's true.
Yet what can happen is now you get a bill in the mail and it's gone up, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 Jamaican dollars, and you're like, whoa, this is not how much I pay, because in the fine print you have that variable interest rate with agreement with the bank.
And let me say this. I bought my first property about 2 years ago, right? And my interest rate was 6.75%. Right? And sometime in the summer, I was at work minding my own business, and I saw an email from my bank about adjustment of interest rate. And I quickly opened the email, and when I saw the adjustment of the interest rate, my God, it was really surprising.
And it went up.
It really went up.
Yeah. Do you mind saying how much it went up?
So basically, as I said before, initially the interest rate was 6.75%, and it went up to 7.75%.
Okay, so almost a whole percent.
Yep.
And see, the thing is, guys, that sounds insignificant, but think about it. If you're financing a loan for, let's say, 30 years or even 40 years, which a lot of mortgages are 40 years now,
yes,
think about how much that can fluctuate in between now and, you know, the next 30 to 40 years. And think about, inflation is going up. Where are we now versus where we might be in the future? We have no idea what the market can do. So I would suggest that you guys lock in as low of an interest rate that you can until you have the opportunity to refinance if inflation goes down and if those interest rates decrease, because again, you don't want to lock yourself into something that fluctuates, because we don't know what the market is going to do. And like Jerome said, you also have to be aware that when you're financing, you're going to have to put down some type of down payment.
5 to 10%.
5 to 10%. So yes, you're financing it. Yes, you're getting a loan from the bank, but you will have to put up some of your own cash reserves into that payment to get that loan from the bank.
And let me give you an example. So the first property that I bought, I took out a loan on it, and it was 3.3 million, right? So the bank gave me 90% financing, and I had to pay the remaining 10%, right? So I had to take $300,000 out of my pocket, right? So that's 90 plus 10 equal 100%. So one must bear in mind that the bank is not going to give you all the money to cover it, your purchasing price, right? So one must consider that in mind.
Yeah. And then so now we know that, okay, you guys are aware of that hidden cost, because again, interest rate and all those things do play a critical role in how you're going to finance your land, or even if you're buying a house, whatever it is, think about those things. All right, so now we are going to move into that fourth hidden cost. And you guys see I keep looking over because I don't know everything he has. I have no notes here, so I'm kind of like, what's the next one? So we're moving into the fourth one now, and what is that?
Attorney's fees, right? Whether, as I said before, whether you're buying out of pocket, cash, or on a mortgage, you must use an attorney to represent you, right? So just to be on the safe side, because I know there's a lot of scam out there, and you want to ensure that all the documents, all the legalities that comes with purchasing this property, because as I said in the earlier video, it is an investment, and maybe it's one of the biggest investment you can make.
Of your life.
Right. So most attorney charge 2 to 3% of the purchase price, right? Sometimes, you know, you can ask for a little discount and they are willing to give you a little discount. But attorneys are not cheap. They are not cheap. But as I said before, you can always ask for a discount. Some are not willing to, but some are willing to. So it's just based on who you choose.
And do not skimp out on getting an attorney, and make sure that you find one that is reliable, trustworthy. Read the Google reviews, guys, because you have some attorneys who will say, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it by this date. And then when that date comes, you can't get a hold of them, right? And so you want to find someone who, like I said, is reliable. And the good thing about attorneys, right, is that they actually understand the law, of course, and they can help guide you, because the worst thing you want to do is give someone that you think is the owner of the land a large amount of your hard-earned money, especially in these times, right? You don't want to give them a large chunk of your money and then you find out that they don't own the land, they don't have the title, it's their sister's cousin's mother's house, and they have no legal right to sell you that property, and guess what? You're not going to get your money back. So make sure that you are finding a good attorney to make sure that you just avoid any type of legal headache.
And it's just not any attorney. It's best to use real estate attorney to represent you.
That's the one.
Right? So it is always best that you use the right attorney to represent you in your case, because as I said, I don't want anyone out there to throw away their money like that.
Yeah. It
Right.
would literally just be flushing it down the toilet, right? And we
Right.
want to buy the toilet for your dream house, not throw your money down
the tile.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
that's a good one. So another cost that you will face is the half cost for stamp duty, right? And that is basically the government fees. So
Gotta pay the government.
you have to pay the government. No matter what you do, you have to pay the government. So that cost will basically happen anywhere between 2,500 to 3,500
Jamaican dollars.
Okay. Another cost is the half cost registration fee, and that is 0.25%, right? I'm pretty sure that you and the vendor are going to basically shoulder this cost because it is half cost. That is why it is called half.
The vendor of what? The owner?
Yes, the vendor are the owner and the buyer are the purchaser, right? So you
and the person who's selling you the property will shoulder this cost.
Right.
Half and half.
Right.
Okay. And so, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So, one must remember, and this is also a government fee. You see, do you see how many government fees I'm listing out here? Because the government has their hands in everything that you do, right? Another cost is the agreement for sale, right? So the vendor and the purchaser are going to pay the half cost to prepare the agreement for sale between each party, right? So say for instance, the vendor attorney may say, all right, half cost for preparing the agreement for sale is $100,000, right? So you, the vendor and the purchaser are going to pay $50,000 each, 50,000 Jamaican dollars each to prepare the agreement for sale. Another cost we are going to discuss is the half cost for the letters of possessions. I'm pretty sure you're wondering, half cost for letters of possession. What does that mean? Well, basically, when you hear half cost for letters of possession, that means these are fees are going to incur when you actually get the property or own the property, right? So you and the vendor or the purchaser are going to pay that fee, right? And another important fee that you are going to pay is general consumption tax, GCT. This is basically 16.5%, right, of the purchase price. So one must remember that these fees are not cheap, and no matter how small they are, you are going to pay them. You have to pay them. There's no way around it.
And that goes back into even if you're paying cash for the property and it's, let's say, $2 million, well, don't forget that you have all these other fees on top of it, the tax, like you said, the letter of possession. All of these costs are going to be added to that purchase price, right? So even if you're paying cash, just make sure that you have some type of reserve. And I like to tell my clients here in the States that you need to have some type of reserve. Don't let your down payment and the closing costs be the only money that you have. You definitely want to make sure that you have room in your budget, because buying land, buying property, it is an investment, of course.
Yes.
But things can happen, things can go wrong, and you definitely want to make sure you have some money in your bank account that you can survive on in case something unexpected comes your way. Okay, so GCT 16.5%, that is the general consumption tax.
Right.
Okay, what is the next hidden cost that the people need to know about?
So one more cost that you must consider before starting to build your dream home is the architectural drawing. Right? Most architecture charge anywhere between $65 Jamaican dollars to $120 Jamaican dollars, and this
per square foot.
per square foot, right? And basically you have to present your dream idea to the architect. They are going to put it into reality, and then you will, when they finish doing their drawing, you have to pay them, right? Because they work really hard. They have to sit up and think about it, and then they are going to put it to paper.
And in the last video that we did, if you're not familiar with the architectural drawings or employing a draftsman to do these drawings, in the last video we described the process as well as put up a draft of the home that Jerome was working on at that time. So please feel free to check out that video. Again, I will link it in this video and also put it in the description box. But I do want to give a word of warning when it comes to certain architects, and this goes for all contractors in general, not just architects. Don't think that I'm coming for the draftsmen or the architects, but remember that you are hiring them to, like Jerome said, turn your dream into reality, right? And you don't have money to just throw down the drain, because again, you worked hard for whatever you have. So make sure that you are finding someone who comes with references, someone who is reliable, someone that you can Google and get some type of like review on them, because the last thing you want is to be waiting for months or years for this drawing to be finished, and it's not finished, or when it's completed, you take it to the parish council and it's full of errors, and now when you need them to correct it, they are nowhere to be found, because these kind of things do happen, especially when you are abroad and you're not right there to say, hey, where's my drawing? What's going on? You know, so you definitely want to make sure that you are finding draftsmen and architects who are thoroughly vetted and who have proven themselves to be reliable in this industry. So just a word of caution for anyone out there who is looking for an architect right now to draw those plans.
Right.
Also, I'm sorry, I do want to say one more thing. If you are abroad, right, and you have found an architect to draw your plan, there are some hidden costs when it comes to that as well. Because if you're abroad, right, you're not there to take your plan to the parish council. So your architect has to take that plan, or your draftsman has to take that plan on your behalf. And in order to do that, if I'm not mistaken, you have to write a letter of agreement saying it is okay for them to submit this plan on my behalf. And that letter that you send to your architect has to be notarized, right? So if you're in the US, in order to get a document notarized, it costs anywhere between $5 to $20 for them to notarize the document. That is a hidden cost, because you wouldn't think, I mean, it's minimal, but it's still a hidden cost. You wouldn't think you would have to do that. And not only that, it takes time and effort and gas and everything to get that notary. If you need free notary services, look at your local library or your local city hall. Most of the time they will notarize for free without cost there, just FYI. Okay, so sorry, I just stole the show, but
that's fine. So another hidden cost that we must mention is site visits, right? So you want to ensure that your architecture or your draftsman must visit the site, right? Because you don't want anything to go wrong, because remember, they are the one who drew the plan, right? So you want to ensure that they are on site, whether
they
you
see the dimensions, the land layout, all of those things, to make sure that they can feasibly see your house, the house that you want on the land that you own. Because if you want this big old house and you have this little teeny
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. So, like Jerome said, site visit is of utmost importance.
Right. So, and you want to ensure that they are there, they are present while they are like digging on site while they are digging the foundation, because remember, the foundation is basically the strongest structure on any given property, right? You have to ensure that they are there, and they are going to need money for those visits, so one must consider those costs in their budget.
Yep. And not only that, you have to also think about your visits to that site, right? Because when you're looking for a property, let's say you're looking by yourself and you're driving around, you're looking for property, you're going to spend gas, okay, to get to those locations. If you have a realtor and let's say they're going to drive you, okay, that's fine. But if you're looking by yourself and you're meeting with these owners and you're having these conversations and you're visiting these communities and you're going to spend gas, you're going to spend your time, you're going to have to eat out. So depending on how long it takes you to find that property, typically it takes people about 3 months until they find that dream perfect property for them. All of that time, you're spending money on gas. If you don't have a car, taxi fare, or to put gas in your friend or family's car, all of those are hidden costs because it does accumulate. And gas is high right now.
Let me say this, just to add to that. The taxi fare may sound hilarious, but trust me, it does add up.
It adds
Every
up.
little makes a difference, right? So one must remember that every money that you spend, it goes towards your budget in purchasing your property. Right?
Okay, so what is the next hidden cost?
I don't think I have another hidden cost at this time, but I think I have list over 13 costs to consider before building your dream home in Jamaica.
A hidden cost.
What is that?
When you submit your plans to the parish council, you're going to have to pay a fee.
Right. So basically, I think they charge by square feet.
Okay.
Right. So how the parish council will calculate and how much they will charge you to get this building plan approved.
Okay. And so, do you have any other hidden costs?
No.
Okay. So I think that concludes this video, everybody. I want to thank Jerome Thompson for coming on. Oh, firm handshake. For coming on to the channel and imparting some of his wisdom and knowledge that he has acquired from going through this process. Like we said, guys, this is an investment and probably one of the largest ones that you'll ever make in your lifetime. So you definitely want to make sure that you are watching these videos, you're reading, you're doing your research, right? Because knowledge is power. So make sure that you are an educated consumer. You know what costs to consider, what to factor into your budget. And, you know, because like I said, this is your dream home. So we will be doing another video.
Right.
I think we're going to make this a series.
Right. So, and if you're out there watching this video and you have any questions or concern, you can comment on this video and I will respond to your questions, right? Because I'm here to help.
Yep. And also, comment some topics that you want us to cover in this series. We're just going to do how to build your dream home in Jamaica, right?
Right.
We just decided that just now. I think I just bullied him into that. So we are going to do a series. So you guys, if you have any questions, comment, because Jerome's going to be in the comments ready to answer. And if you have any topics that you want us to cover, make sure to comment that as well. And if you comment and you didn't subscribe, I'm not answering. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because this is knowledge that we're doing. I don't even know. I think it's like 10 o'clock at night and we both have stuff to do tomorrow. So we're putting this information out there for you guys to help you. So make sure to show your support and your thanks by subscribing to the channel. And
also share the video. Share it to your friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. So a share can go a long way. So share the video, like the video, and also leave your comment down below.
Yes. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much. We want to thank you so much for tuning into this video. We're going to see you guys in the next video that we do in this series. And I hope that you have a wonderful day, and blessings and peace to you all.